Good morning, precious people. Here we are together, another fresh day. Take a deep breath with me and let's check in with ourselves. What I'm feeling, actually, I guess it's a feeling. It's a ringing in my ears. So I feel like maybe sometimes that means your blood pressure could be higher. So I'm trying to think. We're leaving this afternoon to go to Miami and leaving Miami tomorrow to go to Brazil. So I might be like I do feel something in my back too. So I do have a little bit of stress about the upcoming travel. My husband and I booked separate tickets. I don't think I even have a seat assignment. I might end up having to sit by myself. Well, we'll ask when we get there. And then we're taking the Bright Line train down to Miami. And I don't know which one of my kids is going to be driving me today. And I don't want to inconvenience anyone. So I have a little going on right now. That'll be resolved. I know it's not something deeper than that. It'll be resolved today. All right. So I want you to know you're irreplaceable with your own unique experiences, wisdom, and light you bring to the world. Whether you're sipping your first cup of coffee, it says, beep, boop, you are too cute. It's R2D2 and somebody else. I thought it was BB-8, but I guess not. Anyway, another R2 unit. So you might be drinking your first cup of coffee, easing into your morning routine, or if you're already deep into work, I'm so grateful you're here. Today is a gift, a brand new page filled with possibility. So open it with kindness and curiosity. While we chat, let's remember we're still growing and learning. So grab your favorite mug. This actually is my son's mug. And let's welcome this day with open hearts and gratitude, because you have a new chance every day to learn a little more. And I'm happy you're here. Make sure if you have any comments or thoughts, you leave them. I would love to read those. I'm not on very often, but when I do get on and I see I have some comments, I really like to hear what you're saying. So today we're going to talk about Pascal's wager, and not really the news, but I saw a X post by Elon. It was so funny. I was watching something else last night, and there was some, I think she might be a lawyer or somebody, who called Elon Musk, what'd she call him? Oh, and I was like, are you kidding? Like a brain dead moron or something? I was like, of all the people on the earth right now, you could say that about. That's the last person you could say anything like that about. So funny. Sorry, I'm still waking up a little bit. I'm still in my pajamas. So maybe I'll make that a Sunday thing, like coming to the camera in my pajamas, because I haven't gotten ready for church yet. Sorry again. Yeah, maybe in my body scan I can be like, am I sick? Do I have some congestion? Nope, I don't think so. Anyway, so yeah, that was funny. I just saw that last night. It's not on my notes, but that was crazy. That lady said that. I like using that word crazy just to describe a lot of different things. So Elon Musk posted, for quality of life, it is better to err on the side of being an optimist and wrong rather than a pessimist and right. So that is I don't know if you got it the same way I did. It's like it's better to be an optimist, and occasionally you're wrong, than be a pessimist and be right. And then I was reading something else. I don't know if it's a comment on the tweet or the post, but somewhere I was reading more further last night, and someone had said it's less pain to be an optimist. You may live exactly the same life being a pessimist or an optimist. The same things are likely to happen to you, the same things in your environment, perhaps. But say all that is equal. A pessimist is feeling the pain of the event well before the event happens. And then they're feeling the pain of that negative experience. So they're experiencing more pain in their life being a pessimist than an optimist who is living a joyful, positive life, positive thinking, and all the stuff that manifests with it. And then when the negative thing happens to them, then they're feeling the pain. But being a pessimist means you're feeling the pain more. I mean, if you just want to, and by pain, I don't mean like a physical pain. It's obviously more mental if you're stressing about it. And again, like 2 days ago when I was talking about cortisol, that raised cortisol in your system that shortens your life. It is not good for your body. So if you can work on being a little more optimistic, positive, I believe there's huge benefits. And that's something Elon Musk wrote 2 days ago. I can't remember. I think it might have been 2 days ago. And then it was funny when I read that, it reminded me of something called Pascal's wager. And that's something I believe Scott Adams was talking about towards the end of his life too. So Pascal, he is a Frenchman. His name is Blaise Pascal. He was a philosopher, a thinker, an inventor, a mathematician. He did so many things, like starting from early on in his life. I think he made like the precursor to the calculator, things like that. A super smart, amazing person. And he was into philosophy too. He wrote this philosophical argument. Sorry, my face when I wake up is so itchy. Actually, I think it might be coffee. Sometimes I feel like the coffee makes my face itchy. I don't know, the caffeine in it. Anyway, he is a 17th century thinker. And just so you know, 17th century is the 1600s. Because the first century is the zeros. So just so you know, 20th century is 21 something. Wait, no, 19 something. 1900 to 1999, 20th century. So he was a 17th century thinker. Following a religious experience in late 1654, he began writing influential works on philosophy and theology. He proposed, because of God's existence cannot be proven by reason, a rational person should live as if God exists. So a rational person would live like there's a God. This wager argues that believing offers infinite gains, such as heaven, ultimately, with minimal risk. You're not losing anything. You're gaining, like the infinite gains versus the risk you're wagering, like it's a bet you're placing. While disbelieving risks losing everything, losing your soul. So this is how I understood it, is you could believe or not believe. And if God could be real, eternity could be real or not real. So say you believe and God is real, you get eternal reward. Say you don't believe and God is real, you get eternal damnation. Say you believe God is not real, you've lived a godly life, a clean, holy living life, and then nothing. But say you disbelieve and God's not real, then you've gained and lost nothing. So let's see. I think that, here, that's how I understood it. And I guess it has a name. It's called the payoff matrix. So, but the gamble you're making, whether believing or not believing, since human reason cannot definitively prove or disprove God, a choice must be made. It makes your life a gamble. So yeah, are you gambling with your life? We are. We do. My nose is really itchy today. I don't know what it could be. I've been doing so much this morning, actually. I cleaned the cat box, took the trash out. I had a grocery delivery, so I had to clean the fridge out, do some dishes, chop up some veggies. It's a bunch of things that I already did this morning in my jammies. So anyway, I think that I must have kicked some dust up, maybe in the cat box or something. So you have a rational choice. Pascal argues that in the terms of probability and potential, betting on God is the only rational choice, and it offers the highest expected value, which is forever with Christ. Peace, that love that I was talking about, those near-death experiences. Wouldn't you want to experience that for eternity? Just the all-knowing God loving you, surrounding you with this beautiful, brilliant light. Yeah, it's worth the gamble. That's what Pascal is saying here. But going back to Scott Adams, he was saying that at the end of his life, he said the words, "I accept Christ as my personal savior." And he says, if I turn off and I wake up in heaven, then he'll have proved his existence to me. Something like that. Y'all, I really hope that worked. None of us here know if we're saved or unsaved. It's only by God's grace we make it to heaven, I tell you what. But let's see. There are some counter arguments people were making to this. Some people think this wager assumes just a binary choice, like there's a God or not a God. But it doesn't assume, assumes there's one God, but it doesn't take into account multiple gods, which different religions do believe in that. So I believe what he was talking about is the God of the Bible. Not Buddha, not Krishna, or Allah, or Allah's a one God religion, so maybe that fits in this wager. So anywho, multiple, some religions have multiple gods. Then another one is the rationality of belief. Critics argue that belief cannot be forced or chosen based on the cost-benefit analysis. And that's what I'm concerned about with Scott Adams. Like, he knew the benefits would outweigh the drawbacks if he didn't accept Christ or become a believer. But just based on the wager that he was making, does that equate to actual real belief? So that's something to think about. Like, I know my husband made this argument to me years ago, and he's like, I think he was questioning at some point, and he was like, you know what? The risk is way too great not to believe. The risk of eternal damnation is a risk I don't want to take. And he didn't want to take. So Yeah, and then someone named Voltaire found this argument morally questionable because it suggests believing in God only in your self-interest. And that, yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. Because in the Bible, it's like, love God with your whole heart. It doesn't say, well, believe in God because it's probably what's best for you. It's God who wants our love and our belief. So there, I was thinking about this argument after, I got all this information to present, and I was thinking about just the rest of our life. How do we live the rest of our life? We weigh constantly the cost benefit ratio of all the things in our life. Like going to college, like the cost is the money, the time, the lost opportunities with other employers or whatever. But the benefit is you have a degree, it opens up new doors for you. If you're getting a certificate in a specific industry, you can only get into that industry with that certificate. So then it opens that industry open to you, opens it up to you. And then getting married, the cost benefit of getting married. I mean, for women, for me particularly, it was security. I was having a baby. I didn't want to raise a baby myself, a child alone. So, but the cost was now all the bills and everything I have to think about, rent. Before that I was living at home, didn't have much of a care, just go to work, go to school, go have friends. So yeah, but having a stable home, having a home for my child, like outweighs any sort of cost that marriage was going to impose on me. Even when you're shopping, you do the cost benefit analysis probably without even thinking. I'm at the grocery store and yeah, I could get the brand name item, the thing that's touted as a better product. But frequently, I know I knew a friend, or I had a friend who worked at the dairy factory back in Denver, and he was saying that milk with the fancy label on it, the Lucerne or something, that's the same milk that goes to King Soopers. It's just a different package. And so the King Soopers brand, generic kind of milk, that's half the price. So, I'm like, do I want the label to feel like I'm fancy? I don't know. For a while, I couldn't even have that discussion in my mind. I'm like, what's the cheapest thing? Am I going to buy hamburger, or am I going to buy the, what was it called? Meatloaf mix. So it's in that same tube, same size, but there's just less meat in it. So it's less expensive. And I'd have to buy that and use it as hamburger, use it in tacos and everything. Yeah, so for me, every day when I go to the grocery store, I'm using that cost benefit analysis, and then making big life decisions. Buying a car. I mean, that is one place you can really let your emotions run away with you, in the car dealership. So really go in there, be logical, make those good decisions. Well, as we wrap up today's time together, dear friends, here's my reminder to you. Keep learning and keep growing. Every single day is another chance to uncover something new, to stretch a little further, and to become even more of the wonderful person you are. You are valued, you are capable, and the world is better with you in it. So thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll be here tomorrow, probably from the airport, and I'll have a special guest with me, I'm sure. But be ready for more wisdom, heart, and coffee. Until then, have a beautiful day. You are the Lord's precious one.